You're live.
I will introduce you guys first. First, I have to speak, and then I will let you guys sit
So I'll
together.
just move over there or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take her seat, I suppose, and you can pull the one that I want in closer at that time.
Mega Mega Love, shout out one person in the house. So tonight we're going to do, this is my first time big live stream that I have some guests on my live stream, which gonna be my two best people to do my live stream every week. So you guys, if you guys out there, come on in and we'll start our live. Let's see. Let me share our lives to
Did you end the stream? It says end stream.
in the stream, yeah.
All right.
No. If you're gonna stop your stream.
Okay.
Let me go into my live. Not yet, babe. There's none yet.
Look, you move my hand so slow.
Oh, look. That's our live.
Okay.
I'm going to share it. Oh! Silly tricky. He does that.
This will be available for people to watch after the fact too, right?
They can go into my live.
Like we used to watch.
Hello, Ning. Mega Mega Love, shout out. So tonight we're going to
Salted
have
crackers.
Kuya Chris and his friend Alva in my live stream. And this is kind of interesting live because we're going to talk about some musics and comic books, whoever are interested to those topics. Come on in.
Our passions. Well,
Our obsessions.
obsessions is probably a better word. Yeah, things that we like.
Shout
things we like
out
to
Kuya
like.
Chris and okay, there is
Carol. Who's that? Your sister? I knew that.
there's Alval there.
All
Say
right.
hello, Alval.
Hello, Alval.
And come in here, Drake.
And
And
Drake.
there's another one.
This is Joy. Our Chris plus Joy equals Drake. Yay.
Okay, I already shared it on
Well,
Facebook.
we spent very special time together once upon a time.
I'll go back to my room and play my bass guitar.
Okay. I think it's pronounced bass. Like a fish.
Then can you share it in your community, please? So that we can start to talk about something. All right. Let me share again.
I'm going to look when I lose more weight.
Ha ha
Oh, Mine's in there. Oh, there
ha.
you go. Oh, look, I'm sneaking in the picture. Oh, my God. There I
We should. How are we gonna do this?
am.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Oh, well, that's one of the words he couldn't say.
What did I say?
Oh my god.
Oh, my God.
It's okay. I
How about adios mio?
Can you be over here, later and hand us some of the stuff?
probably we can make. Drakey boy, how are you doing? Ayan, pasaway. Pasaway si Drakey boy.
Aunt Carol says, Drakey boy, how you doing?
Let me share so that we have more people.
Come on, people now.
Smile on your brother. Everybody get together.
So they always send me some live stream, their live stream, so I will send them my live stream too. So okay. It's on Facebook now. Oh wow. Hello. Carol said hello.
Hello. Here I am.
Maliit ang camera namin kaya hindi nakikita si Alva. So yan. It's
Oh my
album.
God, I can't stop my hand.
I'm promoting this at the back.
Buy organic ginger, lemon green tea. That's a lot of stuff in one.
So what are we going to talk about in this show? We're going to talk about
We're going
what?
to touch base on all these things.
Movies
Music.
and
Mika Lab shout out. Okay, you two. I
Us
let them.
too.
I let them sit in front of the camera so that way they can show their face, and then I will
our
talk behind.
beautiful faces, I might add.
Go over there, Alva.
Okay.
No, just
Don't sit.
no.
No.
Come
I will,
around. Sit in this chair.
I will be in the
I'll-
background saying, I'm just gonna moderate. You guys talk about what you wanna talk about.
Oh, look at
You want
that.
to do that?
Yes.
Oh, look at
okay,
that.
that's
Okay.
good.
I guess that's all right.
Oh, look at
As long as I have
that.
enough room.
Oh my God, we got movement here.
Well, first of all, I will say this: I am overweight. Everyone
Don't
knows it.
say that.
It's true. It's true. Everyone who sees me says, "This guy, he would be all right if he lose 80 to 100 pounds." But I've lost 6 pounds this week, and there's no doubt that I'm getting thinner. No doubt. See,
Keep going.
definitely
Keep going, Dad.
getting thinner.
Okay, we're here to talk about movies, not about your hairline.
And music, although the first one on the pile would not be
I like
one
that
of my
record.
favorites. It's
I
okay.
do like that. Is that the first Human League
Human
record?
League, Greatest
Is it? So
Hits.
Greatest Hits. Okay.
This is not indicative of like one of my top tier favorite guys. It's all right.
It's got some hits.
Yeah, well,
Let me see. It's got like I can't even see now. It's got like Mirror Man, Fascination.
the Lebanon, I remember that one. Don't You Want Me is our most famous song. Love Action, I remember.
You know, it doesn't have that one song. It's called "I'm Only Cuban" or "I'm Only Human."
No, that wasn't even Human League.
Oh, that wasn't. Oh, okay.
No, that
I'm
was,
sorry, I'm sorry. Yeah, this is actually not. This is actually a pretty good record.
I guess.
It's
All
a greatest hits. So you know.
Joy, can you go around and reach that big magazine? All right. Now, by the way, this is Joy
Just keep
and
talking.
mine's home. So this is very organic in that all of the stuff that I'm showing is stuff that I've utilized recently. See, we're moving. I'm cataloging my collection. So I'm packing things away, and I'm using some of this in my research, or not my research, but my cataloging. So here's another passion that Al and I share: our obsession with comic books, especially the oldies. This is not a comic book. This is a big softcover book from the early 1970s about comic books, about the history of comic books.
Steranko's History of the Comics.
Yeah, Jim Steranko, who's still alive, thank God, and one of my favorite artists when I was a kid.
Is that volume 1 or 2?
This is volume 1.
Okay.
It's a wraparound cover. I take good care of my things, but this I've had so long, and it's such a big, bulky size. This is much larger than a comic. This is about 2.5 size.
That's one of the first histories of comics.
Yeah,
That's
one
the
of
old
them.
one.
That's from the early 70s.
Anyway, the cover is now detached, which, I wish it wasn't, but it's not a big deal. I still enjoy it. Here's the what they call wraparound cover. Let's try the whole thing. This is still available on eBay for probably $20 if you want to get one that's in good condition.
It's been reprinted.
And it's been reprinted, yeah.
You're gonna get demonetized. There's the
And here's
sponsor.
the text.
What?
A lot of text in here, pictures of the drawings.
You're gonna get us demonetized. Look.
Oh, that's okay.
It's
It's
Don't,
a
don't,
comic
be,
book.
don't be
Okay.
obsessed.
Yeah, really.
Mika Lab shout out says
Yeah, it's
ESF in
$3
blood.
Where'd you? Oh, you probably bought it.
I'm only
Bought it.
moderating.
You probably used.
I probably got it at a comic convention.
You didn't order it through the mail.
This is Alval, my husband's best friend, and this is my husband.
I'm my own best friend, actually.
So
Okay.
they're gonna be taking over my channel. They're the one that
Well,
going to do some
We're going to, on occasion, but
Mika Lab shout out, dear folks.
we're still going to do
Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody.
your channel.
Because I'm busy with my work, and I don't want to let go my live stream because I have a membership also. So that's why I need to keep up with my live
Follow
stream so
folks.
that my members will be up to date what's going on in my channel and everybody.
I think that's what's
So
happening.
that's why I figured I let my husband and his best friend to do live stream twice a week when they have time to do.
Milk and that.
If you guys see the reaction. Hello, dear folks. Thank you so much. And dear folks also is my channel editor. Thank you
That
so much,
Williamson?
dear
Alex
folks.
Alex
Raymond.
Raymond.
Anyway,
Some of the old masters were great. I'm sorry, we were just talking about the old comic book or comic strip artists in America. I think comic books.
we love the Filipino artists too.
Oh, we do actually.
Alfredo Alcala and Nestor
Yeah,
Redondo.
Runaway.
Alex
That was in
Miguel.
the 70s. They did a lot of work for DC, and they did a lot of
late 60s, early
horror comic work.
Oh, I should show them the Brian's what was it?
The history of
Brian's
It's right over there.
the history of the Philippines, cinema. of
The
the
shelf
Philippines.
next to the front door, to your right as
Yeah,
you're facing the
know
door.
Yeah. So anyway, we were like little kids in the 60s, and I think it was the Batman TV show that got us into comics, or maybe
Well-
for you it was before. I don't know, but
I think it was before, although I remember my dad, God rest his soul, talking about, hey, there's the Batman TV show is coming.
yeah.
I said, really? And I'm like, Batman? Oh, yeah, Batman, really?
And it was also the Marvel cartoons,
Oh, yeah.
the Marvel
And, hey,
superhero cartoons.
we don't talk about much because I don't think we're huge fans, but we respect it. We like it. It's the black and white Superman from the 50s.
I never saw that until the late 70s. I didn't even know about that.
Really, I did see it. I think they had it on replays, or reruns, I should say, in
That's
the
really cool.
early 70s or late 60s. You don't recall that? Seems to me I saw that.
I just remember Batman, and then the Marvel cartoons, and that's what caused me to buy comics.
Did you get the
And then there was like all
didn't
the
get
Saturday morning TV shows,
Did you get it?
like Space Ghost and all that stuff they got.
Are you talking about the Barnes and Noble?
No, she's talking about the
She's talking about Brian's
history of the
Philippines.
Philippine cinema
I'll get it.
that Brian wrote. My cousin Brian wrote
A book on
Brian
the history
Yetter
of the
wrote a
cinema.
book on the history of Philippine cinema, which is a well-regarded book, actually. Very extensive, well-researched, published by McFarland Company. Cinema of the Philippines, A History and Filmography from 1897 through the year 2005. It's in many university libraries, including some Ivy League schools.
Did he send the Philippines also?
I'm sorry?
Did the Philippines university whatever?
Probably. I can't say for sure. But I do recall either, wasn't Harvard or Yale, one or the other.
Yeah,
It was in their library, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
This book can be found on probably Amazon, eBay. It's pretty expensive, but it's
and
pretty
inextensive too.
extensive and expensive. There's some photos there too from some of the Philippine actors. Both of us like much of the Philippine cinema, especially the horror and the action crime movies of the Philippines.
How much do you sell the books?
Well, the book was originally published.
$100 originally,
$100.
but then I think they paperbacked it for less.
See if the
It's on Amazon.
It's $100, Nim.
well, it's because it's an academic, it's considered an academic interest book. It has
Oh, I should.
here's Rosanna
Rosana Roses.
Rosas. She might be older than this now.
No, it's in my age.
She's your age? I think she's got to be older than you. That's when she was a young, cute thing. So anyway, what do we like, Al? We like
We like B movies.
B movies, especially
This is a classic 80s book
reference. Yeah.
reference for all the B movies that played late night television and on Creature Feature and all that.
Stuff that was
We
common
learned a lot from this book.
yeah, and it's a reference because I have probably 60 or 70% of the movies in this book in my collection. So I use it as a reference book. And Al probably has maybe 70 to 80%.
And this was
That's an encyclopedia.
this was published around the same time as
encyclopedia.
it's encyclopedia, but
It's like an encyclopedia. Give a little blurb on the movie, what it was about, when it came out. That's the important thing a lot of times is what date. And then I have I'm going to show them something here. I'll give an example. Oh, well, if I have the movie, I underline it in highlighter, and then I put 1426. In this case, Bunny Lake is missing. I know it's on my DVD R number 1426. So it means I had the original movie, and then I put it onto a portable disc or something. So I know where it is. So I keep it in a kind of a library type.
And that's just one of the many.
It's falling apart.
Yeah, they do fall apart. That's one of the many
That's the first I've seen of that one fall apart.
horror books that they had.
Which means I need to get a new one.
They don't make them anymore. You have to get an old new
I have
one.
to get an old new one, which probably.
This is just one of the many horror books that we have that we've been collecting all throughout the years. There's tons of them.
Yeah.
And, it was before, this was around the time of VHS. The other ones were before VHS. So this was kind of
That's
like a
really
guide
cool.
to what was out on television and a lot of these movies hadn't come out on VHS yet.
Yeah. When this book was brand new, it was probably very difficult for people to have a copy of their own.
Yeah.
Either very early VHS or maybe 16 millimeter if they could find it.
I mean, a lot of these movies were playing on late night television, but a lot of them were like the Lemon Grove Kids Meet the Monsters. That was extremely hard to find until somebody found the copy and put it on bootleg video or whatever.
They'll have it on DVD.
And now it's out on
have that in the box
DVD or
set.
whatever. So important book. We'll be talking a lot of the movies in this that we watch, and and then if we talk about here you go. Well, more albums. Chris has what? You have like thousands of records, right? Or at least 1,000 at least.
Probably. I have a lot of it in other formats now as well.
So we're going to be doing a lot of reviews and
Big love shout out 5 million
Sparks.
in the house.
and
So-
So we have 5 million in the house. Thank you guys for watching.
5 million.
So here, guys.
we're famous now.
So this time, guys, you guys will learn about comic books from the way back that when we're young, we don't have it, especially in the Philippines, because we are so unfortunate.
You had comics with a K.
Yeah, we have comic. We have
Darna.
comic books with with our own superheroes. Which we have Darna, and
Pigeon Man.
I forgot what else except of Darna. I think we have some other superheroes also in the Philippines way back then, especially in my time. And also when we're young, we don't have TV, and the only leisures that we do when we're young is play outside.
Did you have radio?
We have radio. My grandma and my sisters and cousins, we used to listen to 6 o'clock dramas. Yeah, we have
That's what I was
those.
going to ask you if you had stories on the radio.
Yeah, we do. We listen those. They're like horror.
Oh,
Do you remember that name? That when we're young, they are every 6 o'clock. We go and sit down in the porch and listen to a radio.
Yeah, movies too.
Yeah, we don't have movies because we don't have a television in the
Movie
countryside.
theater.
You go to
We don't have it.
Did I have a theater?
I don't-
Well, she lived out in the
Country.
What they say, the
Yeah.
province.
Yeah, in the country. So
Yeah,
just radio.
it called the drama that we used to listen is called Oracion, which all this, it's like witch people.
Yeah, scary. Yeah,
Scary.
yeah. And then they make movies about it later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so where you lived, there was no movie. You had to go to the Manila or a big.
We don't, I just learned that there's television or big screen when I was like 15, 12 years old.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's how long before I
I mean,
really,
we were watching this since we were like 4 or 5
I
years
know,
old.
because you guys Americans are really,
Crazy.
up high tech. No, it start from here
Well,
before
even-
everybody knows that there's
Even in the early 60s, I was born in 1959. Al was born in
57.
I thought it was 47.
No, I'm not that old.
1957. So even when we were young, and neither of us came from a wealthy background, I would say lower middle class, and then a step below middle class, and then the upper class, blah, blah, blah. I would say, honestly, for the most of our childhood, we were not quite middle class. We were right just a step below.
Yeah, definitely. Me and my parents were, because we were from Cuba, so we,
Yeah.
we were
My
like,
dad was a
struggling.
cop. My mother was a homemaker. They didn't pay the police men very much. Of course, they made plenty on the side on the street, but that's another story. But
no, don't say that. That did
well, not that I know. Anyway, but we still had for our time entertainment. We still had privileged life for our entertainment needs. We had television, we had radio, we had comic books, we had
movies, theaters.
movie theaters, we had drugstore paperbacks, which I would read Doc Savage and the wonderful covers by Bama.
James Bama, yeah.
James Bama?
Yeah.
So Savage has been before he went to the radio.
We had the
No, Doc Savage was first in the radio, and then
Yeah.
and then
he started the pulps in the 1930s. I know we're going all over the place, but we'll try to focus. Our next one will get a focus. But I just want everyone to know that our obsessions and some that perhaps we do not share, but and not in order, but music from the 60s and 70s and beyond, but most specifically the 60s, most specifically the 70s. There's some others as well that we do like, but those are the 2 decades that we are most fond of, I'm sure. Comic books from the 60s and 70s and a little bit beyond. But as time goes on, the quality of comic books, although they look impressive at times, the story content is really terrible. Did I say music and comics?
music, comics, movies.
Horror movies. I like all kinds of movies, but our bread and butter is horror from the 1920s, a few, the silent ones. But most of for me, my favorites the 1930s, 1940s. And then, of course, we like the 50s, the 60s, the 70s. Al, your favorite decade for horror is
60s and 70s.
60s and 70s.
Music too.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I like old television, the old television series, especially some of the comedies, but the spy, like Mission Impossible, the detective ones, like Mannix. My 2 favorite are maybe the 2 well, you got to mention the Twilight, Alfred Hitchcock, the Twilight Zone. These are the kind of horror or mystery or supernatural type. The Outer Limits, Twilight Zone, Alfred Hitchcock, and Boris Karloff's Thriller.
Yeah.
There may have been some others.
The Night Stalker.
Night Stalker in the 70s.
One Step Beyond. That was another mystery
And I like some of the comedies, Beverly Hillbillies and Genie and Bewitched and all that. But the 2 touch for me, my favorite 2 TV series, first came Johnny Quest, which was an animated adventure cartoon that had kind of a realistic look to it. In other words, none of the characters were exaggerated as far as being cartoonish, and they were fighting mad scientists and James Bond type villains. And then the Wild Wild West, which ran from 1965 to 1968, I think. It was set in the Old West, but James West, a Secret Service agent, was more like a James Bond character, fighting sometimes even supernatural type situations. Fantastic show, very innovative. And one that I didn't mention was important was the Marvel superheroes that you mentioned. The animation was not good. It was very choppy. It had a lot of Jack Kirby and Don Heck, some Gene Colan too. I think so.
Steve Ditko.
Ditko, Colan, Jack Kirby, Don Heck. Drawings taken really right out of the comics and turned into something of an adventure within the cartoon world. Very, very fun. That's probably the most influential thing that got me into comics.
I think my biggest influence besides the comics was watching the creature feature shows with the host.
Oh yeah.
MT Graves in Miami
Another
and
one of those.
all the B movies in the afternoons. And
Yeah.
it was a great time because you would have a movie in the afternoon, and then at night you would have another movie, and then that would be Friday, and then Saturday you could have another movie at night with a different host, and then it was like all weekend long you could watch some old like Tarantula or Godzilla or Universal horror or anything like that. It was all over the place, and you had monster models, you built like Frankenstein and Dracula and
From the
the
Aurora
Wolfman.
Company.
And also, and then you had Famous Monsters magazine, which has told you all about the movies, and then Castle Frankenstein. It was a great time. Everybody says their childhood was the best time to be a kid. I don't know. I'm partial to them in my time when I was a kid.
Yeah, I look at some of these guys that I like on YouTube, and with all due respect, they look back at He-Man and stuff like that from the 80s.
Yeah.
I think it's vastly inferior to the stuff we watched.
Yeah.
It's just my taste.
It's just the taste. We were already like teenagers at the time.
I wasn't.
We had other interests at that time.
Yeah, I used to like to drive around a lot.
Yeah, drive around aimlessly. Aimlessly, I might add. But at any rate, yeah, but then in the 80s, you got to remember, the 80s were great too, because that's when VHS came along, and all the movies that you read about in the Psychotronic book and started showing up on video in your local stores.
Actually, that's where we discovered some Filipino movies too.
I had already seen the Mad Doctor ones on television.
Yeah, Mad Doctor, Blood Island,
Brides of Blood, and Beast of Blood, and all. So we had already seen those, but there was a lot of stuff. A lot of the Spanish, European horror was coming out on video, and I had just seen stills, or you too, and Famous Monsters, and we never saw the movies, and all of a sudden there they are in your local video store, and it was from about 81 or 2 to like the late 80s. It was just golden. Every weekend, me and my friend would go every weekend looking for video in a small town.
Even you and I did
me
that
and
later.
And then here you had that store here, Screens, where you guys cleaned up.
Al and I have known each other since 1985, and we've been tight friends ever since. So that's a long time now.
And of course, I always say that all of my close friends that I know, it's either through music or through comics. We met at a comic shop.
Yep.
All of my friends, for the most part, are comic book guys, and movie and B movie, more so comic books than B movies. But
don't forget music. Actually, I gave Al a litmus test, an odd litmus test in my mind. So this guy seems pretty cool, but I wonder if he's really hip to the hipness.
Hip to the hipness.
Do you know, Al, about Roxy Music? This is a British band that is still my number one overall favorite musical entity. And Al knew about Roxy Music, so I said, this guy may be a pretty cool guy.
And I do have to credit my friends Jim and Pat for that, because before I went to college, I was just Beatles and, WSHE, which is our local radio station.
Down in South Florida.
And, Led Zeppelin. I had a kid that gave me hard rock records.
So we both started in South Florida, and we both migrated 30 plus years
little by
later,
little, we kept going norther and north.
to Ocala, Florida.
And, I don't know where we're going to be like in a few years from now, but we keep
Or
going
dead,
north.
I think it's the word.
Well, no, I'm not planning on that anytime soon. But at any rate, so the 80s was golden as far as video. And like, we both have humongous video collections. We got VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and all sorts of things. So we're pretty much covered. I mean, there's always a new movie that shows up that we don't have, but it's very
Yeah,
rare.
sometimes I think, and I may be correct about this, it seems to me that if you look at the 1930s and 1940s, I own in some format that's acceptable to myself. I think probably every horror movie from the 1930s and 1940s. I could be wrong, and almost sometimes I hope that I am wrong, so I can discover something new. But I think I may have them all.
Yeah, and you're a big Universal fan, as am I. But I do have to say that when I was a kid, I wasn't little. I was already 11 or 12. That's when I saw the main Universal.
I got to
Dracula,
show them
Frankenstein.
my bona fide pride piece of ownership as far as Universal's concerned.
Yeah, when I first saw the Universals, they were going to be on a late night creature features, and I actually stayed up late to watch it. And I got to say, he's going to disagree with me, but I was kind of disappointed because they didn't seem like they were scary to me because I was already like 12 years old. So at that point, it was like, oh yeah, that's the Frankenstein monster movie. Oh, that's Dracula. You know, I'd already seen more, intense movies than that. So I was already spoiled. You know, I'd already seen Hammer movies with all the blood and all that stuff. So when I saw the Universals, it was almost like watching historical, characters more so than, oh my God, this movie is really scary.
No, I'm not sure that any Universal movie ever really frightened me, but some of them were kind of a little slightly disturbing. The most disturbing moments that I can think of from Universal movie, oddly enough, is Murders in the Rue Morgue. There's some street level.
There's the Phantom of the Opera. That one's kind of.
The silent one.
Yeah,
that's got some. Anyway, there's a term called Monster Kid, and it refers to people, obviously, typically even a little bit older than us.
Yeah,
because
baby boomers.
Yeah, they would rerun some of the Universal monster movies starting in the mid 50s. I want to say
late 50s.
Late 50s. Shock theater.
Yeah,
and
the first time they ever were seen on television.
Some people who are really there's a lot of people who are really into this stuff. There's a wonderful podcast, which is available on Spotify, but probably a lot of other places too, called the Borgo BORGO podcast, where these two guys, one from Boston, one from LA, I don't know their names offhand, but they're very well-spoken people. One of them's a filmmaker. And they talk in detail about an individual Universal movie at one at a time. But anyway, these guys are younger than me. But Al and I should not really be true monster kids because we're too young to actually be a monster kid. But somehow I have evidence that I was a true monster kid. This is a very rare piece. This is a wallet. It's still in very excellent condition, except for I'm missing the button. I could probably sell this on eBay for $300, but I would have no interest. This is a wallet from the early 60s. Dracula, Bela Lugosi as Dracula on one side.
Frankenstein.
That's not Boris Karloff, though.
That's not
Glenn
Boris?
Strange.
I would say it's Glenn Strange. This is the Boris Karloff model type for Frankenstein, but the face is probably Glenn Strange. Abbott and Costello make Frankenstein, and also House of Dracula and House of Frankenstein.
Yeah.
But this is, I did see a date on this.
64 probably or something.
Can you read that, Drake, at the bottom under Dracula?
1963.
1963. That's old. I was only 4 years old. So somehow I joined the club legitimately when I was only 4. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But mom and dad bought
They bought it for me, but I'm sure I said, yeah, I want that. I don't have anything in here. The wallet, it's...
Yeah, there was a ton of...
It's 60 years old or almost.
Yeah.
But it's probably in very good shape. I would not like to sell it, but I could sell it for probably a few $100. So anyway.
So basically, that's what we're into. That's what we're going to talk about. Hope next time we'll be more focused. Maybe
we'll pick one topic, maybe one album, one
For 2
movie.
hours. For 2 hours.
Yeah.
That's gonna be 2 hours live stream.
Well, we bounce off each other pretty well.
Uh.
We also like American football, which is a lot of people are, college and pro. And I'm a big Halloween and Christmas freak. Al, bless him. There's some things that you're really into that I'm not particularly crazy about.
Like what?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
City listeners.
I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I'm thinking that we're both into.
Like I just mentioned.
I think you're into more than I am in the sense that.
Another thing is
more different.
Old time radio.
You're right.
I'm a big time old time radio fan.
I never got into old time radio. No, I never did.
We both like pulps, although we don't have very many.
We don't have very many now.
Because they're very expensive, but they're very cool.
He's also not. Al's not into MST as much.
No, I'm not into MST. But that's like in the '90s. But yeah, you're right. I'm not.
I like Mystery Science Theater.
Or those weird puppet shows. Remember?
You go in the middle.
The puppet shows are okay, but
What puppet shows?
Thunderbirds and all.
Oh, come around.
They're okay. I mean,
I like them mostly for the comedic value.
Yeah.
So.
It's like the Planet of Parkinson's or something.
But at any rate, yeah. So we'll focus more on stuff in a future episode. But I don't want to give away too much because then we're gonna run out of material.
Or also, our viewers, they can comment down below and request what topic they want to talk about for you guys
Tell us a
for
movie.
the next live stream.
Or
hobbies or
movies, comics, records.
Yeah.
Q&A.
Or what kind of stuff you guys do collect,
Yeah, tell us what you collect and all stuff. I also have a podcast called Destination Nightmare B Movie Podcast. It's on Spotify and Anchor, and I every 2 weeks, me and my friend Roddy do a show, an hour show about a movie,
a particular B movie, and you also have an almost daily reprint on the internet of an old comic
it's
book.
also called Destination Nightmare.
Destination Nightmare. So if you just put in Google or whatever, Destination Nightmare, you'll find two interesting entertainment avenues that Al Vallo's involved in. You've been doing the comic book reprint Destination Nightmare for 10 years.
And and as far as podcasts go, not video but audio, I probably have been on about at least 500 of them.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I did a lot of them when I was living in the old place, and I started doing them again with my buddy Roddy recently. So we got 50 of the new ones, and then hundreds of the old, and they're comics. But
what was the old
comics?
It's probably still accessible, much of it, isn't it?
Which one?
The one you did
Slow
now?
Robot. Slow Robot's still out.
Slow Robot a go.
Yeah, that's still out there.
So you got Alval, you should create your channel. You have a YouTube channel.
No, I don't. I'm on Spotify.
You can create your channel so that way you can also introduce what you're.
I have to be very careful because sometimes it's not that much controversial. Sometimes I use trailers or music that might be copyrighted. So I have to be very careful with YouTube, but Spotify, I think they're okay with it. So, until further notice, until they start taking them down. But so far, so good. But yeah, Destination Nightmare B Movie Podcast and Destination Nightmare Blogspot, which is the comic book one. So there you go. But so we don't have any topic for today. We're just introducing ourselves.
Be careful. There's a computer behind. You don't want to drop.
But to my question, that is interesting. There's none of the stuff I mentioned you dislike.
You also like mainstream movies a lot more than I do.
Yeah, if the idea of the movie intrigues me,
like crime movies, you really love.
I do. I do like crime movies. I am kind of a mafioso movie guy. I don't like most modern horror movies. I'm not a fan of blood and guts. Unless it's just interesting somehow. I don't like to see gore usually. Sometimes it's okay. I'm not a big fan of it.
Yeah, and you like mainstream movies, like you might even like a rom-com or something, and I don't
Yeah,
even,
you know, was like out with a wife or whatever.
yeah, and you like, and for some reason I don't care for animation much, except for the Saturday morning stuff from the late 60s. I never really followed cartoons much, so I never was really.
Like I would say I'm a moderate to big fan of classic Disney movies, and you're like they're okay, take them or leave them, kind of. Yeah, like you know, Pinocchio or Snow
Snow
White.
White or whatever.
Yeah, I would sign up to watch those usually. I
never
have
grew
them
up-
in my collection.
I never grew up watching them, so I never got into them. But that's
Fantasia.
just. But they are well made and
Sure.
all that stuff. So yeah, we do have differences, and maybe even in the episode, if we review a movie or we watch something, we may even have different. You might like it, I might not like it. You
Yeah,
might find
there's
it-
certainly some modern movies that we both modern, like 35 years old.
Yeah, modern. Yeah.
We watched Blue Velvet together a couple of months ago. It's been a while since I've seen it. One of my
And you
favorite
like
movies in the
like
80s.
modern television a lot more than I do. I don't know.
You know, I haven't followed a series since The Walking Dead, which I do love that series, but I couldn't keep up with it. It's too much. Took up too much of my time, but when it finally ends, I'll be very happy to get the DVD set, extensive DVD set for $300. It'll probably cost.
No,
Yeah, I'd like to get it eventually.
no.
Catch up with it all.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know what else we can say, but stay tuned. We'll be around and soon with another.
Yeah, there's
show.
plenty of musicians, comic books, and comic book artists. What else?
Musicians, comic books, movies, radio.
Yeah, there's plenty of plenty of people that I like. So we focus on them and just kind of extemporaneously talk about them.
like you could do a radio show on your own.
Thank you so much, sis Jane Cicadis, for renewing your membership. Thank you so much, sis. Welcome here.
I have no
And,
idea what that means.
My channel will be my channel will do some live
What does that mean?
twice a week with my husband and my friend Alva, and they're going to educate you guys about comic books, music, movies, anything that you can think of way back in 1980s, 1960s, 70s. They can also, if you guys are, I know most of us, especially in the Philippines, we don't do all those things. And now that we are really, everything is accessible, it's good to, to learn about them. Those things that we don't normally do when we're young.
And we want this to not just be going to the Philippines. We want everybody everywhere to watch.
Educate everybody. Yeah,
not even educate, just enjoy what we're.
Just
comment.
A couple of old guys reminiscing about the old days and how much we still like it. And I got my son Drake, and because Drake was raised by two adults, of course, but no siblings and no cousins in his age group. He's been kind of isolated in a sense, kind of corrupted. So he likes a lot of the old stuff. He may be the only kid in school who knows so much about the Beatles or the Rolling Stones or what else?
Devo.
He's run into a Devo thing lately.
Yeah. So.
Old monster movies.
Which movies?
Old monster movies.
Yeah,
monster, yeah.
Svengoolie.
Yes, Svengoolie.
He likes MST.
Now in the Philippines, Svengoolie is more known to the young people now in the Philippines, because I seen
in the
some.
Philippines?
Yeah,
That's cool.
because it's accessible now.
Does he?
I seen some young people that posted about Svengoolie.
Oh, that's awesome.
The monster movie host guy.
Yeah.
With the little
cool.
paint on it.
That's cool. That's great. Yeah,
That's good.
I'm surprised it gets out there, but hey, whatever. Back then we used to have Elvira in the '80s. That was pretty crazy stuff. She showed some pretty cool movies.
We have same shirt, champion.
Thank you, Stuart Ricky. What? Show your
So
shirt.
one of the viewers said you have the same shirt. Miso.
No, that means
Miso.
mega love shout out.
So shoot.
So you guys, when you guys have some
Oh,
viewers downstairs, you turn it off.
No, I didn't. I almost had like hit someone. Did I?
Okay,
Oh,
turn it on.
Hold on.
What did you do? Turn the light
Oh,
off?
the halo light.
We need the
my
light.
foot hit it. Ah, my head. All right, hit the button.
No. Oh,
My foot accidentally hit it.
There we go.
All right.
All right, so we're gonna wrap it up. We're approaching 11:30
Yeah, I got
p.m. our time. The three people family, the Drake, myself, and my beautiful wife. We're gonna take a little journey tomorrow, nearby,
Oh.
and then Alvalo's got to get his beauty rest.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta get back in my coffin and then rest. Put my Dracula.
Why
cape
are you
on.
Dracula?
Yeah, put on my Dracula cape and
Dracula's supposed to be during the night or
So
out.
I'm like a crazy Dracula. I do the opposite.
You still have time before.
I come out during the day in my cape and go, I want to suck your blood. It's, like,
Yeah.
it's getting late. We're getting goofy. But
All right.
anyway,
So you guys are not gonna tell them about the records? Oh, we'll just do that
No,
next time.
next time.
Let's
Next
just.
time.
So okay.
Uh,
So you guys introduce what last once again. You know that you guys what day you guys gonna do your live stream again?
Well,
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
It'll be
We'll prepare for it and we'll
next week,
Next
probably
week,
Wednesday-ish.
Wednesday or Thursday? I'm
So-
off Thursday though.
Okay.
We'll make it Thursday then.
All right.
Yeah.
You can do it on weekends.
We'll have a
Thursday
movie.
next
We'll
week.
have a movie, or let's try to do a movie, and
So I have to
You can bring a comic and a record, and I'll bring a comic and a record, and we
I
don't
have-
have a name yet, so we still have to. Name
I have to do
ourselves.
some premiere live stream. That way people will get informed and they can be in the live
Yeah.
on the next live.
Yep, sounds good.
So okay. Thank you guys. Thank you so much guys for watching. And we'll do the live stream again next week, Thursday. And that's gonna be the same time in the Philippines. The same my regular time. I will post the schedule on my community tab. And thank you so much, Sis Jane Cicades, for renewing your membership. Appreciate that very much. Thank you so much, Kay Allison, my niece. And thank you, Ceci Yesipin Black. Thank you, Sister Carol Kinapao, Dia Fox. Thank you. And thank you for your hard work for, doing a good job, excellent job on my video. And Anthony
That's
Benitez,
all right.
thank you so much if you are still there watching. And next time we're gonna do some it might be some surprises to my membership. I have 2 members. If you guys want to be a member on my channel, that would be you guys are free to click the link. And I have some surprises for my membership
You want
to all my members.
Joy talking?
It's okay. And who else? What else? Thank you. I cannot thank you enough for you guys for being there. May Alvaro, thank you so much for always being there to support my channel. And of course, what else do I have to say? If you guys have something to suggest to improve my channel, I will be happy to take your suggestion. And thank you so much, everyone. And hopefully everybody in the Philippines have a wonderful weekend and stay safe. I know election is coming over there, and vote wisely. And, I know I'm not going to talk a lot about the elections, election in the Philippines, because I've been out in the Philippines for a long, long time. So I don't know what's going on, but I keeping up what's some other people posting on my Facebook page. And okay, guys, I'm not gonna say no more explanation. I'm just gonna end my lives here. And see you guys on my next video coming up. I have a premiere. So hopefully, guys, I'll see you that's going to be tomorrow. And thank you for our excellent host tonight. And for the coming live stream, my husband Chris and also Alval, thank you so much. And Drake, the
I'm here.
extra.
I'm here
Thank you
too.
so much, Drakey Poo. We're going to sleep now because it's already 11:30 here in Florida. And I know, guys, you guys have maybe you guys are cooking lunch right now. Enjoy your lunch. Have a nice day, everybody, wherever you might be right now. God bless everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye bye, bye bye.
The end. All right, there you go.